Good morning. This is One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Why do I always introduce myself that way? So I don't ever forget that I suffer from a disease known as alcoholism, and that if I make the fatal mistake of having just one drink, it will end up at the same movie that I used to play over and over, and it never ended well. You can relate to that. You can relate to what I'm about to put out. Having fun yet? Today's daily reflection for January 23rd, 2021. Let's get it. Good morning, you awesome folks. Let's get into today's daily reflection. Are we having fun yet? We aren't a glum lot. If newcomers could see no joy or fun in our existence, they wouldn't want it. We absolutely insist on enjoying life. We try not to indulge in cynicism over the state of nations, nor do we carry the world's trouble on our shoulders. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 132. When my own house is in order, I find the different parts of my life are more manageable. Stripped from the guilt and remorse that cloaked my drinking years, I am free to assume my proper role in the universe, but this condition requires maintenance. I should stop and ask myself, am I having fun yet? If I find answering that question is difficult or painful, perhaps I'm taking myself too seriously and finding it difficult to admit that I've strayed from my practice of working the program to keep my house in order. I think the pain I experience is one way of my higher power has to get my attention, coaxing me to take stock of my performance. The slight time and effort it takes to work the program, a spot-checking inventory, for example, or making of amends, whatever is appropriate, are well worth the effort. If I didn't enjoy my sobriety, folks, why would I even do it? If I didn't find that it was a better way for me to live my life and a better way without alcohol, would I even bother not to drink? That's the question of, are we having fun yet? Because there are a lot of folks out there just like you who are questioning, why should I even stop drinking? It hasn't given me that much problem. It hasn't caused that much trouble. The answer lies in this, folks. If you knew that there's a way for you to be happy without alcohol and for you to be able to deal with life without alcohol and have fun doing it, rather exploring your life the way it should be, would you do it? That's the question. Because if you find that that answer is a little bit uncertain or a little bit, questionable, perhaps that is because maybe you're not working your way of recovery or sobriety the way that you ought to, and perhaps there are some things that you still have to do in order to keep your house in order. I like that metaphor because this house that I have right now, I didn't have it before. I had a disarray apartment full of frickin' beer bottles and empty food containers and a phone full of text messages that I just couldn't even bother to answer because I had no clue what happened the night before. Without alcohol, I find that my life is more fulfilling and allows me to do more things that I always said I would do that I never even got to. For example, por ejemplo, this morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. It's a Saturday, folks. I woke up at 5 a.m. I had some coffee. I took some pre-workout, did a workout, and now I'm shooting today's daily reflection. All things that never would have happened in my past drinking history because I would have still been either passed out or still drinking, waiting to pass out or find out what else happens. Afterwards, I would wake up and regret every single thing that occurred. And I'm sure a lot of folks out there can relate to that. I'm certain that there are some people that I've spoke to recently that their lives are unmanageable. And this is where step one of Alcoholics Anonymous, and if you're not an AAer, that's all right, because these things aren't for everybody. But the principles of AA still apply pretty much in everyday recovery and everyday sobriety. If you find that everything that you've done the day before or the week before or whatever your case is in drinking or using is full of regretful things, and you are filled with guilt and shame about some of the things that occurred, perhaps there's a better way with you or for you without alcohol or without drugs. And I'm kind of living proof, even though I'm not all animated and things, I'm a very happy person. That's a happy face. If I can do this, so can you. And a lot of folks question whether, I should keep doing this or not and everything else. But those are what I call people who had a glass of haterade for breakfast or dinner or whatever. The reason is this is because, I think that people don't like other folks being happy and not stuck in the miserable rut with them. And that's how a lot of us stay in alcoholism, or active alcoholism, and that's how a lot of us keep using, is that the people around us, they don't want to see us stop, because then they may have to justify their own actions. They don't want to see us stop because they don't want someone else to be happy. That doesn't mean generally, because most times, more than not, an alcoholic or an addict has certain genuality, and actually we are quite smart people, but we fell to the disease. Oh, I lost it again, folks. I lost my train of thought. If they see that someone else can get through life and get through everything that is going on in their world without alcohol or without drugs, then they think that maybe they have an issue. And that's just speaking for people, which generally I don't want to do. Yes, in sobriety, if we weren't happy people and we didn't experience better things without the alcohol or without the drugs, why would someone else want to do it? It's kind of like saying, telling someone in the army to, ensure that they fire their weapon and they hit 40 targets out of 40, but yet I can't do it. They see that I can't do it. Why would they want to strive for the same goal? Or if they see that, a perfect score doesn't mean squat, why would they want to put the effort in order to achieve it? Kind of like how, my brain relays that. Maybe, yes, it is. Anyway, that's food for thought. That's today's daily reflection. And guess what, folks? Tonight, live stream 1800 Berlin time, which is 12 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, and I think 9 a.m. on the West Coast, something like that. In any case, I am going to be doing a live stream and where I'm going to be answering any questions that you may have, and hopefully some people show up and we can actually make it a thing. If not, I'll just ramble on for 40 minutes and see what happens. I look forward to seeing all of you. I hope you have a good day. I hope life is treating you well. And if you need any help from me, especially some of the folks that I've heard from recently, look, I'm not a doctor, psychologist, social worker, or any of that, or counselor. And some of the things that I've been asked, I cannot particularly help directly, simply because I'm in Germany, folks. And in Germany, I can't really help many people in the United States directly. However, indirectly, feel free to email me. My email is all over the comments and feeds in some of the videos, as well as you can hit me up on Instagram, Reddit, or Twitter, all at one sober to another. I will be more than happy to share my experiences with you, and hopefully that can help you in some way and give you a little of advice that I have followed that has worked for me. But I can't promise that it will work for you folks. I only hope that what I give you can be helpful. If you are in danger of any kind of serious withdrawal or anything like that from stopping drinking or stopping using, get medical attention right away, and then use some of the resources down in the links below If you are feeling low and you feel down and you feel like life is just beating you up to pieces and you can't take it anymore and you think it's the end, look, I have a number for a suicide hotline down in the description, as well as relapse prevention and recovery. So please utilize the links that are there, because I don't want to see anybody else fall victim to this disease. I went through enough hell in it, and I don't want to see any of you have to go through that if you haven't already. Life's a garden, dig it, folks. Guess what? Hopefully I'll see you tonight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.